Funny because one of the first things that I thought, and I actually said in one of our strategy calls, was that I don't want to spray gold on shit. Nothing felt forced or was any kind of sleazy salesman pitch, which was nice. We often get 101 phone calls and a lot of people cold calling about so many different things. And the great thing was we actually inquired and was referred by a friend who had already chosen the platinum package. He'd become so much busier, and we were kind of at that point as a business, which I think many restaurants are at, where they just stagnate. And we are consistently busy, and that's great, but we knew there was more we could do. We hadn't really looked at social media and how much pushing quality content on our social media could actually help grow our business more. So working with restaurant commercials was a little bit different to anyone we've ever worked with before. I've never been in a situation where I was constantly updated and kept in the loop about everything that was going on. The guys were on the ball all the time. They were there for me if I had any kind of questions or I had any kind of queries or concerns, because for me, it's not a thing I completely understand. But these guys were very, very on it, which was great. If I needed anyone, they would tell me about how we were going to grow this content and use this content and the strategy behind it on how we could actually get more customers in, because it wasn't just a piece of content they were going to give me and leave me with. It was a piece of content they were going to give me that could hopefully get more customers in and actually help grow the business properly, not just like what many others promised to do. Funny because one of the first things that I thought, and I actually said in one of our strategy calls, was that I don't want to spray gold on shit. It's funny because even if you're selling a burger for £3, it's the same process, which is why chains like Subway and Wagamama's, Burger King's, whoever, perform so well, and they spend tens of millions of pounds on this. Perception is reality. How we're putting ourselves out there is how customers perceive us, and that's what we're going to make and that's what they're going to make their decision off of. So that for us was something that was quite key. We were really thinking, how can we make this look good, but how can we make this look real? We don't want to turn around and sell people a fake image of us and catfish anyone. But what was funny was we had that vision shared with the guys at Restaurant Commercials. They knew exactly what we wanted. It was never them saying, let's do crazy glamorous effects and make it look nothing like the restaurant. It was real. It was very real, but it was real in a way, and which looked so good. It was so bespoke to our brand, which was really weird, thinking that they'd work with such big chains like the Hilton and others. And for us, seeing that they could hone in on just us, a small restaurant in Wembley Park, and be so suited to what we actually needed, it was great. So first off, nothing felt forced or was any kind of sleazy salesman pitch, which was nice. We often get 101 phone calls and a lot of people cold calling about so many different things. And the great thing was we actually inquired and was referred by a friend who had already chosen the platinum package. And after looking into a bit more information and being presented with all the options, we felt that was the best plan for us. It was something that would work with more video effects and really help get our brand to where it needs to be. It was great for us, and the whole way along, the guys at Restaurant Commercials had our best interests at heart, which was really, really helpful. Well, first of all, I love it, and so does all the staff, which is crazy to think. And it's really weird because I've never come to an agency where they told me how to use the content organically. They've helped me with that. They'll deal with the paid marketing, and they're sorting that side of things. But they've said to me, "This is the way you set it up, and this is on us," which is great. Other agencies just push you to put more money with the paid marketing, and that doesn't always work. But here they've enabled us to put it up as our top pin post on Instagram, top pin post on Facebook. It's pinned on TripAdvisor, Google My Business. It's there, it's out, it's on our website, it's everywhere, and that's really helped grow our brand and be able to put it at the front of people's minds. It looks so much more professional than it ever did before. Our Instagram was crazy, our Facebook was a little bit nuts, and it was all about the shop. Nothing was unilaterally aligned. So it's crazy to think that in only a few weeks of knowing Restaurant Commercials, they've been able to find so many unique selling points about the Blue Check in Wembley. It's nuts. So I do have a friend that's got his own restaurant, is working with Restaurant Commercials, and seeing his content really kind of opened my eyes to what we could achieve. Since he'd taken on Restaurant Commercials, he'd become so much busier, and we were kind of at that point as a business, which I think many restaurants are at, where they just stagnate. And we are consistently busy, and that's great, but we knew there was more we could do. We hadn't really looked at social media and how much pushing quality content on our social media could actually help grow our business more. So yeah, it was almost like a no-brainer to work with Restaurant Commercials. I think working with previous agencies, they'd always just overpromised. They'd said, you know, we can get you the moon and never come close to it. And I think that's the problem with restaurant commercials. They'd promised me one thing and they've got it. And if anything, just succeeded and overachieved. It's crazy to think how much we've grown as a business since working with restaurant commercials. They've really helped push our brand and the quality of the content that we have for years to come to just such a new height. It's great. Someone that's looking to get a restaurant commercial, I'd say it's almost like a no-brainer. If you've got to the point now, like I said before, where your restaurant's just kind of, you know, consistently hitting those numbers, but you really want to think that there is more to do down quieter times, because we all hit those points, then I kind of think you need to look at restaurant commercials and say to yourself, this is a investment you need to be making. People are looking more and more on social media. People are judging a restaurant by its cover. And if you don't have quality content online, then I just see, you know, no one going to you, you know, people just dropping off. It is something where I've got customers that I've already got that have seen the commercial and being like, wow, that has made me look at it in a new light. And I'm like, you know, we've always the same restaurant, but they say, you know, I don't see other restaurants with this kind of, you know, commercial, this effort, this amount of content. And I say, but this is where we're going. And it feels great to be able to say that we've actually been a part of restaurant commercials and will be and continues to do so. So I think it's really, really good. And it's actually eye-opening for any business just to even have that conversation about how they can increase business by using restaurant commercials.